Hello friends, so in this video I'm going to tell you the comparative study between call by value and call by reference. So what is call by value and call by reference? So these are the methods or conventions by which we can pass a value to the function. So in the call by value, what we are going to do is we are going to define a function of addition. So I'm going to define a function here of addition, and I'm going to catch the parameters in the numbers here. So integers here n1, I'll name it as n1, and the second parameter I'll name it as n2. So I'm going to call that function here, that is addition, and I'm going to pass values of the same variable, that is num1 and num2. So what I have done is here that I have passed these values, that is num1, that is 5, and num2, that is 10, to this function. So what is going to happen is that this num1 is getting copied into this n1 and this num2 is copying into getting copied into this n2. So what in the function what we are going to do is we are going to add some value into this n1, that is we'll add 5 into that, and some value into this n2, that is we'll add 10 into that. So after calling this function, what we expect is that we should get mm, num1 as equal to 10 and num2 as equal to 20, as we are adding 5 and 10 in these numbers respectively. But we'll see what happens. So I'm going to save this, and I'll open this file in a terminal. I'll just compile it. So you will see that after compiling, before calling the function, the values of num1 and num2 was 5 and 10, and even after calling the function, the values of num1 is 5 and 10. So what happened here is that these values, that is original values of num1 and num2, are getting copied into these variables, that is function arguments, that is n1 and n2. So that's why they're only getting modified in the function, and as the function is completed, these values, that is the modified values of n1 and n2, are getting lost. And even after calling the function, whichever value are read in the printf function are the same value which are read in the printf before calling the function. So if we want the result of whatever we had operation we have done here, so we have to add a printf statement in the function itself. So we'll add a printf statement in the function and we'll see if it is printing or not. So I'll add a tag in the function and1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So after saving that, I'm again compiling it. So this is just a warning. We can include that. We can ignore that, or we can solve it using this, just taking this include line and putting it on the before the function, and it will resolve that warning. So after resolving that, we'll again compile it and we'll execute the code, and you will see that in the function that values are getting modified. So you will see that n1 is equal to 10 and n2 equal to 20, but the values which are getting modified are in the function only. So don't get confused, but the values which came in the function are 5 and 10 only, but they are getting modified after these two lines. So for that, I'll show I'm adding one more printf statement to see which values are coming in the function. So I'm again adding a one line printf statement, and I'm again compiling that code and executing it. So you will see that whichever values are in the main function here are 5 and 10. As you can see, the printf statement is here before num1 is equal to 5 and num2 equal to 10. And after calling the addition function, these two printf statements are printed in the function. So here you will see in the before n1 equal to 5 and n2 equal to 10, and after doing these operations, that is adding 5 in n1 and adding 10 in n2, these values are getting modified, that is n1 equal to 10 and n2 equal to 20 in this third printf statement here. But even after calling the function, uh, that function activation record is deleted as the function completes. And in the fourth printf statement, which are printing here, are printing the same values of num1 and num2, because the values by we are passing the arguments to the function by value. So if you don't want that, if we want the values which are modified to reflect in the main function, we have to pass the value by reference. So passing the value by reference means we don't have to pass the actual value, but we have to pass the address of that variable. So for that, what we will do that is we'll create another function here. So I am doing it into the second file to get the better understanding and comparative study between that. So I'm uh, creating another function in this file. This is second file addition2.c, and I am passing address of num1, that is this operator is address of operator, by which you can pass the address of that variable to the function, and address of num2 to the function. So as we have not created the function, we have to create that function here. So I'm going to create that function here. So as we are passing the address of that variable, we cannot catch that value into the simple integers like we did in the call by value, but we have to catch those values into the pointers, that is pointer of n1 and pointer of n2. So this star represents pointer. So pointer is a variable which stores the value of another variable. So this n1 is storing the address of num1, and this n2 is storing the address of num2. So that's why we'll do the same operation here. So I will just copy this code. I'll just copy this first line of printf and modified it function before, and I'll print those values using now n1 and n2. But we cannot print n1 and n2 because this n1 is containing address of this num1, and this n2 is containing address of this num2. So if you have not understood it, we can prove that is by compiling this code. So this is addition2.c, you will see. So as we are printing address, we cannot use a %d here, but we have to use %p. So p for pointer. So that's why this function is giving an warning to us. So I'll again compile it. So it was giving us error because this spelling of main was wrong. So I'm again correcting that error. So after that, I'll just compile it again. So see, after resolving all the errors, it is not giving any error. So after that, I'll just execute that code, and you will see that it is printing some number, uh, that is 0x7ff or something like that, and n2 is 0x7ff 754 and 750. So that way you will understand that It is not printing 5 and 10, so we will understand that these n1 and n2 is address of this num1 and num2. So that also we can prove by printing that addresses here itself. So in the main function also we can print those addresses. So if those both the addresses are matching together, so that way we'll understand that uh, we are printing address of the same number and not the another number. So I'm just adding one more printf statement, and I'm adding a statement here, that is num1, address of num1 and address of num2, and I am changing the tag of that printf statement, that is main before. So main in means that it is in the main function, and before means before calling the function. So as we have added one more line printing the address of num1 and num2, and we are printing the address of n1 and n2. So if those addresses are matching, then we will get to know that the address of this num1 is getting passed here in the n1, and address of this num2 is getting passed into this n2 using this address of operator and by calling this function. So for that, we'll just compile it as we have changed the code, and I'll just execute it using dot slash a dot out, and you will see that in the main before. So I have to change this also. So what I did is I have again compiled it as I have changed the printf statement in the main. So you will see that num1 is having address, just see that last part. So num1 is having address C30, and the first all the first part is all the same, and n1 is also having C30 and the first part is same. So num1 is having same num1 and n1 is having same value, and num2 and n2 is having same value, but these values are the addresses of these variables, that is num1 and num2, but not the values which they are storing, but the addresses of those variables. So that's why they are printing these no, values. So that way you have understood that we are passing address of num1 and num2 into this function, that is passing by reference. So we are passing this address of num1 and num2 into this function and catching into a pointer, that is this star represents a pointer. So we'll do the same operation what we did in the call by value. So we'll just add. So we have to use, every time we have to use star n1, that is value at n1. So this is also known as value at operator. This star is also known as value at operator, and it also represents a pointer. So that way you will know that we are catching an address of some other variable, and using this star only will we can access the value which we are storing at this address. So this star n1 is having value 5, and n1 is having value this C30. So every time you compile and execute, it will change, but uh, it will store the value of this num1 only. So after that, we'll just add 5 into it, and we'll add in the and 2 will add 10, and I'll also add one more statement here. So values which is getting modified in the function is also seen in the function or not. And I'll add one more line. So this will print again print the address. So we don't want the address but the value of the function, value of n1 and n2. So that's why I've modified it to value at n1 and value at num n2. and I'll again modify this to %d, as we have to print the value and not the address. And I'll also copy this and I'll paste it here to see what values are coming into this n1 and n2. So that way we will get to know that what values are getting passed into this n1 and n2, and if they are getting modified, then they are reflecting in the main function or not. So I'll just copy this printf statement and I'll paste it here, and I'll name it as after. So here you see that we are accessing values of num1 and num2, but not this n1 and n2. Even if I remove this line, so I'll just comment this line, so that way you will understand that I'm not printing in the function and in the only in the main function. So I'll just compile it. So I've compiled it and I'll run it. So here you will see that values of num1 is 10 and value of num2 is 20. So we did the same thing in the call by value also and in the call by reference also. But in the call by reference we have passed the address of num1 and num2. So that way if you do some modifications in the function, so that will reflect in the original variables, as we are passing the address of those variables and accessing that address in the function using this valued operator uh, and using this pointer. So that way if you modify anything in that variable, so that will reflect in the main function. But if you pass by value, that is the original variable and not the address, so that value will be copied into the function parameter here in the n1 and n2. And that if you modified anything into the function, that will not reflect in the main function, as you have seen side by side view. So intentionally I've kept it as a side by side view to give you the better understanding. So in that way you have understood that if you want the result of the function to reflect in the original variable, what we will do is we will pass the value by reference. By reference I mean by we will pass the address of that variable to the function. And if you don't want the result of the function to reflect into the original variable, we'll pass the value to the function by value itself. So we'll call the function by value whenever we don't want the result to reflect in the uh, main function, and we'll call the function by reference whenever we want to uh, reflect the result of the function in the original variable. So this is all about the call by value on call by reference. If you have any doubts, do let me know in comments, and thank you for watching.